Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I'm Professor Olayinka Akanle. I'm a lecturer in the university. On this channel, I do a number of stuff, but all the stuff I do on this channel, you can cluster them into four. But relationship, migration are part of them, and I also concentrate on sociology and research. So today, the video you are viewing is to bring sociology and research together and bringing theory and research together as core components of sociology at the same time research. So this is just, this is a transition. This is a strategic engagement of what these two important elements are: research and theory. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to this channel previously, kindly go ahead and click subscribe on your screen right now. Tap subscribe on your screen right now to join my family of subscribers, and so that you might be alerted every time I drop new videos that will be of great use to you. Welcome once again. The relationship between theory and research. This is actually the major thing I want to talk about today. And this is very important because as a social scientist, even as a natural scientist, we conduct research all the time. And we use theories for this. Theories are basically explanatory frameworks to explain the relationship among different variables, different issues in society. Most important part of this definition is explanatory framework. Theories want to explain. They want to assist you to explain. And when you combine theories, you combine many theories, you triangulate theories, then they can give you a framework. Meanwhile, there's a video on this channel that is on what are theories, how best to understand theories. View that video. There's a video on this channel on theoretical framework. View that video. These videos will help you a lot in understanding these relationships that exist between theory and research more. And most of the time we bring research and theory together. Most of the time, you can't conduct a research within the academic space without bringing theories and research together, because these theories will give you the framework through which you understand your research more. And research actually means systematic gathering, analysis, and accumulation of knowledge. You want to contribute to knowledge. You want to find out things the way they are, objectively or scientifically, systematically. You conduct research so that your decisions are data driven. They are informed based on research. They're not based on common sense. They're not based on assumptions. They're not based on sentiment. You want to gather facts. So research enables you to gather facts systematically through data collection. So research simply is to search again. Research, to search again, to search for facts, to search for knowledge, so that you can make informed decisions. So you will not be like a pilot that is flying without navigation. So you will not just be like a random person on the street who just talk carelessly. So whether you are an employment relations and human resources manager, whether you are a sociologist, whether you are a social science, whether you are an economist, or whether you are even a physicist, or you are a physician, or a chemist, a botanist, no matter what you do, research is central if you want to be professional in your decision-making processes. So, I haven't told you about the research, I haven't told you about theories. Then how do we bring them together? How do they reinforce? How do they operate together in a professional and academic setting? So the relationship between theory and research is very dynamic. The relationships change, depending on the situation at hand. And the two of them, they are interdependent and they are mutually reinforcing, and their relationship is also dialectical. It's not one way. Research informs and reinforces theory. At the same time, theories inform and guides research. So you hardly, in professional terms, in academic terms, in scholarly terms, you can hardly have one without the other. But in operational research, maybe you are doing consultancy. Well, in consultancy or operational research, they might just simply want their data, they might want their findings and recommendation and conclusion. and so that they can make their decisions. But if you are operating within scholarly realm, you're operating within academic realm, you are operating, in a very, intellectual realm, you then have to work within the two. And like I said, theory guides research. Theories tries to explain relationship among different phenomena, among different variables. So these theories can give research variables of interest, can guide research in the methodology they are going to use, the research is going to use. Research provides a frame, theory provides framework within which researches must operate. For example, if you are using symbolic interactionism, for example, that means you're going to be doing a micro level interaction research. Because symbolic interactionism or social action theory, they are micro level theories. They look at interpersonal relationship at micro level, at individual and micro mini group level. So once you are doing a micro level research, certainly you cannot use a macro level. You can't use Marxism, for example. So and once you are using a micro level research like symbolic interactionism, then you know that you have to look at the actors as they interact within their micro environment. So the theory actually, guides the research, provide the variables, provide the framework through which the researcher must conceive his research, must conceive his methodology, and deploy for data collection. On the other hand, research also leads to theory, especially if you are looking at it from the grounded theory perspective. There's a video on grounded theory in this research. View that on this channel. View that video on grounded research. So we can conduct a research, and from your findings, you can develop a theory. That means research can lead to theory, and that's what we mean by grounded research. Grounded theory. So and you can also look. Research can also assist you to either falsify or refine a theory. That means you can test a theory. For example, if you use symbolic interactionism or any theory that you use, your findings is not expected to just support the theory without any critical analysis. In any case, your research findings can confirm a theory. It's not a problem, but your research findings can also question the theory, explaining to us how that theory can be refined in context of new findings that you are given. And the research can also falsify. Falsify means to prove a theory to be incorrect in absolute terms. Then you can say, my findings do not support this theory, therefore I'm rejecting this theory, and we are claiming that this theory is not relevant, is not consistent, and therefore this theory is essentially wrong in view of new findings from this research. So research can also invalidate or falsify a theory, can refine a theory, and can also, support a theory. So all theories, it depends on within the framework you are functioning. If you are using or functioning within the perspective or a paradigm, then that's why Thomas Kuhn, in the structure of scientific revolution, describes the structure, through which paradigms can change. And paradigms, as grandparents, if you like, of theories, can shift. And theories can also shift. Once theories are invalidated consistently, unlike paradigm that has been existing for a long time, then the theories can be rejected and can be falsified on account of new research findings. So research can lead to theory in terms of grounded theory, a whole new theory. And that's how I always say to students or experts that we need more researches for new theories. Many theories have been around for so long, but many people just don't want to be bothered. So we need new theories in context of new realities that we are finding in society today. And researches, the age of armchair theorizing, in the age of Karl Marx, they are long gone. Now we want to gather data-informed theories. And that's why researches must we must continue to do researches so that we can have scientific theories. And Like I've said, researchers can guide theory, and theories can also guide research. So theory gives also assist us to interpret. When you collect data, you can and you analyze your data. When you are interpreting your findings, theories assist you to connect the variables to relationships that you have found in explaining. So at the level of interpretations, theories are found very, very useful. And research also can also assist us to firm, to better utilize theory in a more relevant, in a more current way. So these two issues or elements in terms of theories and research are very symbiotically intertwined. And research can be a first level of arriving at a theory. Because you can just say, okay, we have this theory, I have this theoretical idea. Can I just gather data? Just like Durkheim said, gather data as things to arrive at this theory. And without having a strong research today, it will be very difficult for us to arrive at new theories. Because we are at the level of positivism that everything, even the sustainable development goals now, it's not talking about leaving no one behind and planning with data. So while we've had too many theories in the past, look at a lot of feminist theories, Marxism, and a lot of theories like that, without research base, contemporary theories are essentially interested in using data and research to drive theory. So if you look at the video on how best to understand theory on this channel, if you look at the video on theoretical framework on this channel, then if you look at all my playlists on research, you will discover that theories and research, they are like Siamese twins. They are twins in a way that they nearly share the same umbilical cord. And they are, so this is just a way but don't do research next time without having a strong theoretical base. Because if you have strong theoretical base, it makes your work very easy. From your theories, you can form theoretical framework, especially if you are combined triangulating theory. There's a video on triangulation on this channel. Then from your theories, you can easily come up with variables you want to measure. You can easily come up with your methodology. You can even come up with your methods of data collection. You see, you can even easily come up with your research process. And when you get your finding, you can even use your theories to interpret your findings and even conclude and contribute to knowledge. So theories are like compass. They are like navigation tools for your research. And research at the same time can be like your anchor to be able to improve your theory, falsify your theory, and contribute to knowledge or even confirm the theory. Till I see you in my next video, kindly click subscribe and bye for now.